Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Antonio Sage and I'm a certified Ableton instructor. I'm just going to remove some of this processing here and I will walk you through some of my session and what I just did here. A song called Suffer, and I'm going to switch to this view. So what we have here is this is my session, and as you can see, I still have my vocal running through the distortion, so that sounds better, I hope. So my session, or my setup at the moment, consists of a couple of controllers. Obviously, I've got my Ableton push, which that's to my left here. And I'm actually running Boots and Cats, which is my drum machine with Audio Outlaw, and it can be controlled via push, so it becomes like a standalone drum machine. If I solo and press play, you can see that these buttons here are the mute buttons, and I can activate them, and it should start playing right away, just like any other drum machine. You've got 16 patterns here and four modules, and you've got the regular matrix that you can use to enter your beats. So this is the kick module. This is the snare module. So you can enter beats on the fly. And this is the hi-hat module, closed hi-hat there. We're actually using some open hi-hats, which is the second one up here. So that's what you're hearing. We're in triplets, which is why it sounds like that. You can actually change the sounds by selecting them right up here. You can turn them up, tune them, right. Very easy to use. And once again, these are 16 patterns here. Pattern number 1, pattern number 2, 3, 4. I was playing Boots and Cats along with some loops on that particular song, so I can show you that as well. Let me exit that from here. And basically that's Boots and Cats, and that's available at audiooutlaw.com. That's my that was my commercial for my software. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, then I can show you the session. I've got a couple of different scenes here, and as you can see, they are titled by the beats per minute, and that makes it such so that the tempo of the song will automatically read that. If you just type in the beats per minute, in this case it's 66.63 BPM, very, very specific there. And you just type the words BPM right afterwards and go right ahead and press that scene, play that scene, and that would be scene 1. And let's go through some of these instruments here. Wrong song. This is the one, Suffer, right over here. So I'm just going to open that up. And these are my instruments. First I've got the drums, which are grouped together. You've got this loop right over here, which is running through one of my favorite new compressors, which I wanted to talk about from my friends at Corv Presser. Now, this here is it's an EQ, obviously, kind of like a Pultec with 2 additional knobs, I guess. But what I like about this is that it's not a transparent EQ at all. Actually, it's pretty colorful sounding and grainy, And I appreciate that because sometimes that's what I want to, incorporate into the mix. So here are the frequency sweeps here. These are the gains from 120 to 3.5 kilohertz. And then it's got this dynamic processor here with a Q. Same thing right over here from 800 to 8K. You know what? Just trust me, download the demo, check it out. You're going to find this to be an interesting addition to your collection. I feel that it's, once again, not a specifically an EQ that you're going to use when you want a transparent EQ. Of course, Ableton's channel EQ and EQ8 are the go-to EQs most of the time, but sometimes you just want a little bit of flavor, and as you could hear, there's a graininess to that track. Next is another plugin from the same company, and this one's called Corv Presser. And this is interesting because you can see a graphic representation of the audio coming through. Here you have the input, which, as you can see it, you can hear it's going down in dBs. Now you can increase its input until it's maximized. And I'm just going to go up to the output here. And this is your output, right? And of course, there's the squeeze parameter, which allows you to visualize what's happening with the whole thing. And I just think this is awesome. It's also a little bit colorful sounding. Most of the Clev Gear stuff has a little bit of a flavor to it. So this also has some EQ and some basic attack ratio and release compressor parameters. Your look ahead, and you've got some parallel processing going on here as well. So that's my first loop. Second loop, which can be heard on the second scene. Now this one has some automation going on. Not here, but on number 3. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to solo that. So I'm incorporating another Clev Gear. I'm not selling for these guys. I just love their stuff. This one's called Cassette. And what this does is it just makes stuff sound, again, just really kind of murky and crappy like cassettes used to sound, but it's nostalgic for those of us that remember it. Actually, it's being used on the next scene, so I'm going to move on to that, and I'll show you what happens here. There it is. So that's cool. So it just kind of brings the mix of the drums back. And you hear that in my verse where I'm trying to create a kind of a dramatic, sneaky kind of vibe going on right there. So here's what it sounds like without the automation, just straight up. Got the motor quality parameter, which I guess increases the quality or decreases it. Same for the head. And the tape quality. This is really crappy tape there. You've got normal, chrome, metal tapes. So metal tapes sound better apparently. Chrome ones, not so much. Normal, forget about it. So you've got parallel processing here as well. This plugin, or most of these that I'm showing you today, are all about color, just adding richness, sandy, kind of grit, lo-fi vibe to your mixes.